Hello, everybody. I'm Melissa, and welcome back to Book Bar, and welcome to my December mid-month wrap-up. Crazy. I'm sure you're going to hear this a million times. We are in the last 2 weeks of 2022. It is nuts, crazy, wild. Oh, that's nasty. I got a wine advent calendar. It's like wines from all over the world. I'm not a huge Merlot fan. I love red wine. But Merlot's like bottom of the red wines. And this was a Merlot. And I was like, I'll try it. Because, again, I'd want to drink the ones I don't like that much first. And save the good ones for later. So it was between this and a sweet red. And I probably should have done the sweet red, to be honest. We'll see. Whatever. You guys don't care about the alcohol. You are here for the books. So this is my mid-month wrap-up from December 1st through the 15th. I read a total of 19 books, and I am carrying 3 of those books over. One of them, I'm still chugging along through Kingdom of Ash. I'm almost done. I should have it done this weekend. But chugging along through Kingdom of Ash. I am also carrying over Daisy Hates by Jessa Hastings. I am enjoying it, but it's kind of like been my nighttime read, and it's difficult to get through because in Daisy's perspective, there are footnotes where you're kind of hearing her inner monologue even more so than you do in the story. So it's funny. I'm enjoying it, but it's just taking me a while. And then the other one is When Strangers Marry by Lisa Kleypas. This is my final book for 22 books during 2022. And I don't know. I'm not loving it. I might end up DNFing it. The chapters are so long and I just haven't found the want to pick it up. So we'll see. I'm going to give it another 100 pages and we'll go from there. But yes, I'm going to now just go on into the books. If this is your first time watching one of my wrap-ups, the way I do it is I talk about the books in the order that I finished them, not necessarily how I started them. But the first book that I finished, I really have been in a holiday romance novella book binge lately. This is my era. I've never really liked holiday romances before, and I'm just living my best life reading them. And one day at work, I literally listened to 4 of them. So the first one that I listened to was 3 Bells, 2 Bows, and 1 Brother's Best Friend by Will and Ash. This is the second book in the Holiday Brothers trilogy thing. I read the first book literally on the last day of November. My end of month wrap up will be up there. This was a fun Brother's Best Friend novella. It wasn't anything special. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. Where is it? It was Stella and Heath. I gave it 3 stars. This was probably my least favorite one, to be honest. Unpopular opinion, because I think this is a lot of people's favorite, but this is my favorite. This is Stella and Heath. It is a brother's best friends. They are brother's best friend. They are co-workers. Stella's always kind of been in love with Heath. Heath's also kind of always been in love with Stella, but neither of them know the other one is in love with the other one. So they kind of tiptoe around each other and things happen and they end up together. Of course, I like that all 3 of these stories are on the same timeline. So they all happen at the same time. You see something happen with Stella and Heath in The Nice, the Naughty, and the Nanny, or The Naughty, the Nice, and whatever it is. You see a scene with them in that book, and then it's talked about in this book, so you get it from their perspectives, which is fun. But yeah, it wasn't anything super special. Then the next book that I finished was A Partridge and a Pregnancy, also by Will and Ash. This is the 3rd book in the Holiday Brothers little trilogy thing. This was Eva. I don't remember how they said it, but whatever. And Tobias. This is a second chance surprise baby romance. This was actually my favorite one. I gave 4.5 stars. I really enjoyed this. And normally I'm learning that I think I like Surprise and Secret Baby. Because I've liked them all this year. I don't know. Who am I? Am I growing? Am I changing? We don't know. But this one is, so this is Second Chance. They dated in college, and Tobias always wanted to stay in Boise. And he knew that Eva wanted to go out into the world and do things. And so she got a job right out of college and moved to New York. And they broke up. And he was heartbroken and devastated. Well, of course. And so then Now, they had one night together, like a couple months ago or a month ago. Like, she came back to town. They had a steamy night, and it resulted in a surprise baby. Well, now Eve is back, and they're trying to decide what they're going to do. But she's going to be moving to London for 6 months. So, who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, this was fun. I give 4.5 stars. Those were both on Audible Plus. So, like, if you have the Audible Plus membership, I think they're also on KU. They're very short. They were all, like, 4-hour listens, and that's without them being sped up. So, very fast, easy reads. Then I read Special Delivery by Lauren Blakely. Now, how I just said I liked Surprise Baby, I did not like it on this one. This book was fun. It was 3 stars. It was Quinn and Vaughn. It was just a Christmas novella. Another one that was Brother's best friend. He is, like, the owner of a... or he's co-owner of a sports management company and a former athlete. And I don't even remember what she does, but, oh, she's a party planner. And she plans this party, and they spend a lot of time together. It was fine. It was 3 stars. It was nothing special. I didn't really care for it. I probably will not remember it past this wrap-up. Like, I probably won't even remember it in my end-of-month wrap-up. Then, the next book that I read was The Christmas Pact by Vi Keeland and Penelope Ward. This was so much fun. So, this is they have the same name, but flopped. So, it's Kennedy Riley and Riley Kennedy. And do I remember which one is the hero and which one's the heroine? No, couldn't tell you. But one is the male main character and one is the female main character. But they work for the same company, but in, like, different divisions. And people always switch up their emails. And so she gets his emails, he gets hers. They're very snarky with each other. Well, then they meet at their work Christmas party and sparks fly, and they decide that they are going to be each other's fake dates for these family obligations that they have to do. It was fun. I definitely knew what was coming with it all, but I had a great time. Fake dating, dislike to love. Yeah, it was a fun time. Then the next book that I finished was Floored by Carla Sorensen. This is the 3rd book in the Ward Sisters quartet. This follows the other twin, Leah and Jude. And Leah goes to study abroad in Europe for a term, and in London, and she's at a bar, and she meets this guy, and they're talking about the difference between football and American football and football, aka soccer, and which one's better, and all these things. Obviously, she is the sister of a very famous American football player, and now he's a coach, and so she grew up around football all the time. And he, of course, you don't know this at the beginning, but he is a famous soccer player. He's a soccer star there, and they have a night of passion, and they sleep together. My biggest gripe, and she ends up pregnant. She does not hide it from him. She literally, like, the minute she finds out who he is, goes and tells him, and he doesn't accept it right away, and he's very, like, negative, and, like, is like, he doesn't realize who she is, and that she would never try to trap him because he's a famous footballer, because she obviously has money. She grew up around, her brother is literally one of the best former football players, and is now a coach. Like, she's not wanting, like, she understands the lifestyle, and he doesn't react well at first. But they say it's called a hate to love sports romance. Other than them arguing at the beginning, like, literally in the first 5 minutes they argue and then they sleep together, and then the way he reacts, I don't ever see when they hate each other. Like, he realizes real quick what he did, and he goes and, like, apologizes, and things work out between them. And so I don't know. I don't get the hate to love. That's my biggest gripe. So I gave this one 4.5 stars. And this is probably my favorite of the Ward sisters. I don't know. It's a tie between the two twins. So Floored and Faked. I liked them both a lot. Then I finished Scales and Sensibility by Stephanie Burgess. This is a SPFBO finalist, and I had a great time with this. This is Regency Dragons. So it's a historical fantasy romance, and I would put it in that order. So, like, it's got the historical vibes of the Regency era, and, you know, going to the balls and doing all those things. And you know, not being around single men, or not being around single men when you're a single lady, and like courting and trying to like use money and marriage for money and like things like that. And then there's the fantasy, because there's dragons and it's fun, and they talk about like fairy tales and things. And then it's a romance, because there is a romantic element in it. I gave it 4 stars. It all wrapped up very easily, and like the magic system just kind of didn't make sense to me. I mean, it made sense, but it was just very easy and very simple, and everything like wrapped up in a nice little bow. I am on Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy. I'm part of her Patreon, and she made like a chat group for it in her Discord, and it literally says scales and sensibility, so Melissa can put her thoughts, because she's a very fantasy based reader, and I don't read a lot of epic and high fantasy, and so a lot of her buddy reads end up being like fantasy based, and so I can never really participate because I don't read a lot of high fantasy. But so she made it so that I could participate, and I guessed the twist in this, and I knew it, and one of the Maria from Maria Murray, that was like, I didn't see that coming. It's like, no, I definitely, and maybe it's because I read a lot of historical romances, I was able to like get that little like aspect of it. But yeah, I don't know, I had a great time. I gave it 4 stars. Like I said, the only problem is that it kind of all wrapped up way too neatly in the end for me. Then I finished probably my most disappointing read. This was one of my most anticipated releases, and I'm very disappointed in it. And I'm sorry, don't hate me, but To Wrong to Make Right by Chloe Leaf. I love Chloe Leaf. I have read every book she's ever written, and I have always given them 4, 4.5, 5 stars. I gave this one 3. I did not care for this story. I mean, 3 is bad for me. It's not a bad book. I think there are people that are going to love it. I don't know. I buddy read this with Michelle from Michelle's Library. I will tag her down below. And we both like agreed, like the sex scenes in this were just very cringy. I don't know. I just was not vibing with it. The way the 3rd act conflict happens so close to the end, and it wraps up, and it's just so stupid. Like, it really was like the dumbest of dumb things to happen. I don't know. I hated it. I really was disappointed. And yeah, so this is Bea and Jamie, and it's fake dating, and like they get set up on a date, and they like have like a really awful like meet terrible basically, and they do there's all these problems. She spills on him twice, and they get trapped in a closet together, and like all these crazy things, and it's fun, and I had a good time. And she like, and he has like there's a lot of great representation in this. I do think that this book has fantastic autism rep and anxiety rep. Like, those are great, and social anxiety, because I can relate. I get social anxiety sometimes, so I thought that there was great rep in this. I don't know. I didn't love it, and I will be putting it on Mango now that I have officially wrapped it up. Then I read my biggest surprise book, "'Tis the Season for Revenge." I absolutely adored this book with my whole heart and soul. Is a Christmas romance going to be on my top of the year? Possibly. I loved this so much. Basically, this follows Abby, who is like she's been in a relationship with a guy. I can't even remember his name. He's a douchebag. She's been in a relationship with him for like 4 years. It's at the beginning. What his name is. Hold, please. Richard Bartholomew. Like, he just is the biggest. Then they call him Dick. Like, it literally is. It's so perfect. But so she thinks that he's going to propose. She's going to go to his holiday party. It very Legally Blonde vibes. She dresses up as a bunny. And he's like, no. Who are you? What are you doing? Like, get out. Like, this is serious. Like, you need to be serious. You're not serious enough for me. Get out of my life. Well, so she calls her friends over. And as, of course, you do when you get dumped, you drink a lot of alcohol and you make dumb decisions. Basically, she goes on like a Tinder app and she swipes and matches with his boss, Damian Martinez. And she's like, I am going to F his boss. That's how I'm going to get back at him. Also, they play, like, her and her friends do all of it, because she was basically, like, his secretary for their whole relationship. She had his coffee order, she did his dry cleaning and his, tailoring, like, she did everything for him. And she's like, and, like, ordered all of his prescriptions, all of his, like, hair plug things. And she's like, I am going to mess with this guy's life. I'm going to do all this. And then I'm also going to screw his boss. Well, she goes and she meets Damien. And Damien is the, best of all best men. Damien is a dirty talking, like, he is just like, I want you. And I want you to do this, and you're not going to hide from me. He tells her, there's a line in this where he's, like, about to go down on her. And she's like, no. Like, guys don't like that. And he goes, honey, boys don't like that. Men love it. Like, so good. I just absolutely adored this. There wasn't a breakup. The conflict made sense, and it fully fit. But they talked it over. And I love this book so much. Obviously, clearly, I love it. I have just ranted about it raved about it for 5 minutes. I adore this book so much. Go pick this up before Christmas. Pick it up after Christmas. Pick it up next year. I bought it so I can literally read it every single year, because this is going to be one, holiday romance that I just read over and over and over again, because it's just perfection. Perfection. Then the next book that I finished was Forbidden by Carla Sorensen. This is the 4th book in the Ward Sisters. I fully intended going into this expecting to love this one the most, because it has one of my favorite tropes, which is when the heroine has the hero's poster on her wall growing up and was obsessed with him when she was a teenager. I fully accepted it. I was like, I'm going to love this. That has that. It's age gap, single dad. Going to be perfection. I really did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. I even gave it 4.5 stars. It was just, I don't know. I don't know what it was. There was just something missing from it for me. But it was still 4.5 rounded down to 4. But this was Isabel and Aiden, boss, employee, age gap, single dad. Again, she had a poster of him. Slow burn. Oh man, this might be the slowest of all of Carla Sorensen's burns. Like, this one took forever. But I loved Isabel's relationship with his daughter. It was a good time. I don't know. There was something that just didn't work for me in there. I don't know what it was. Then I finished Once Upon a Christmas Carol by Karen Scholar. This was super fun. I gave this 5 stars. It was just a audible novella. It had Christmas music. It is not a Christmas carol. It's not a retelling of the book A Christmas Carol. It's literally about Christmas carols and songs and how so it's Rachel and Matthew, and Rachel is a famous singer, and she moved to LA right out of high school and has not been back to her small hometown at all. Her dad comes to her and they go on trips for Christmas every year. She's not been home. Well, her record label just dropped her, and right when that happens, she gets a card in the mail from her hometown asking her to come home. So she goes home, and there she runs into Matthew, who was her high school sweetheart. And now he is back in town. He is a single father, and it is just so fun. She connects with his daughter, on a musical level. It was fun. It was a small town Christmas romance. It was Audible exclusive. It was just everything I needed at the time. Then I read There's Something About Mary by Cody Hall. This was fine. This is what I read because it's the Cover to Cover book club. Picked Cover to Cover book club. It's hosted by Tori from Novel Life and Sam from Sam Reads a Little. This was fine. It was fun. Like I said, I gave it 3.5 stars. It's single dad, small town, Christmas tree farm again. I really love there was a lot that I was doing this month that's the same. But I had a good time. It just, I don't know. It felt very long. And so it has You've Got Mail vibes, where if you know, you know. But Clark's reaction to who Mary is just really bugged me. And the way he I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, didn't love it. But it was fine. Didn't love it, didn't hate it. 3.5 stars. Then I read this bad boy, Anastasia by Sophie Lark. I know that there are a lot of people that did not like this book. I know there are a lot of people that there are people that DNF'd this book. There are people that thought that this book was way too slow. I could not care about those opinions. I adored this book. Just kidding. I care. Everyone's opinion is valid. It makes sense. This book is very, very, very slow, but I was never bored. I was never not wanted. Like, I honestly wanted to pick this up the whole time I was reading. Like, I took the day off of work, and I was doing sprints, and, like, I was doing other things, but, like, and, like, I had to do some other stuff, but it was never, like, I don't want to read. I want to scroll on Instagram. I literally wanted to keep reading. And and for how big this book is, it is, like, the best flop. I'm obsessed with the floppy. But I just adored this. This is Sophie Lark's Anastasia retelling. It is her first fantasy romance. It is a chunky boy. Now, do know that there are full-page illustrations in this book. So, not all 600 and whatever pages it is are words. There is a lot of illustrations. I mean, there are like I said, full page. Every chapter has, like, a picture. It's just fantastic. But this is Anastasia and Damien. And Anastasia, she is a Romanov princess. Or the Grand Duchess. She is the youngest daughter. She's very mischievous. And, you know, this book has magic. I can't say anything without spoiling anything. I do have a full vlog. My thoughts are just everywhere about this. I do have a full vlog. I will link up here. I absolutely adored this. Loved it. 5 stars. And yeah, just fantastic. It is slow. It is very slow burn. It is very slow, but it is worth it. It is worth it. Then the next book that I finished was A Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sarah Simone. I am not going to review this because of the HarperCollins strike. So, yes. Then I read Screwing Mr. Scrooge by Nicole Green. I read this for Holiday Rom-Comathon. I have a vlog. These next books are all in that vlog. But basically, this book was just fine. It is Parker and Quinn. It is no, wrong one. I didn't even write this one on here. Oh yeah, no, here it is. Asher and Claire. Boss employee. Dislike to love. Grumpy Sunshine. It was fine. 3 stars. Nothing special. Barely remember it, clearly. Then I read The Mistletoe Bet by Marin Moore. This was Parker and Quinn. This book was very good. She was the grump, and he was, like, all about Christmas. And it is a small town, brother's best friend. Grumpy Sunshine. Just a fun Christmas novella. I give this one 4.5 stars. Had a good time. Then the next book that I finished was Meet Me in Los Feliz by Kelly Reynolds. This is Nora and Bowie. This is a fun, like, super steamy, just good time holiday romance, but based in California, so it's, like, not a snowy cover. It's none of that stuff. But again, read it for Holiday Rom-Comathon. Gave it 5 stars. Then I read Santa Baby by Cassie Mint. This is Clara and Jack. This is boss employee age gap. Silver Fox going on. I did not rate this because it is under 100 pages. But if I did, it probably would have been like 4 or 5 stars. It was a good time. Again, it was very quick. I read it in like 45 minutes. So nothing crazy. Then I read Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton. This is Tom Felton's memoir where he talks about his life and, you know, growing up in the spotlight, but not being like, so like everyone recognizes Emma Watson, but like Tom Felton, as Tom Felton, he doesn't have that bright blonde Draco Malfoy hair. So people don't recognize him quite as much on the streets. And so he'd go places with Emma Watson and like people would be going crazy for her and like not even realize who he was. But it was all about his life, his struggles with alcohol and all sorts of crazy things. And it was a good time. I gave 5 stars. It's a memoir. Then the last book that I finished was You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwaeke Emezi. This is, I don't want to say too much about this because kind of going into it without knowing, probably would help the experience. I knew basically everything that happened, so I didn't love it quite as much. I did know that the main character, Faye, she was suffering from the loss of her husband, and I knew that, and I knew she, like, I don't know, I don't want to say too much, but yes, it is very much like a woman's fiction, literary fiction with a heavy romantic subplot. But I had a good time with it. It was good. I gave it 4 stars. But yeah, I think had I not known what to expect going into it, I would have liked it even more. I think just knowing what was going to happen hindered my enjoyment of it a little bit. Not enough to where I'm like, it's still 4 stars. But yeah, those are all of the 19 books that I have finished. I'm going to go through my Uno and see what I've completed. Feed Scroll, everyone was talking about 'Tis the Season for Revenge. I have not completed my reread yet. Still need to do that. Random Color, I actually have completed. It was like a dark gray, and Floored and Forbidden both have like that dark gray color on them. Start a series. I think I'm going to use my skip on this because I don't want to start a new series. Well, although I guess technically this is a series. It's 2 standalones, so it's interconnected standalones. So I guess I have started my series. Random Page Number, have not done, might use a skip on that one. Ask a Friend, I, on sprints, asked if I should read 'Tis the Season for Revenge or 2 Wrongs Make a Right, and I ended up picking 2 Wrongs Make a Right because it became a buddy read. So there we go, have completed that one. Book Club, I read both A Merry Little Meet Cute, which was the officially unofficial book club book, which was hosted by Rye from Rye's Reading Corner, Mel from Eleanor Reads, and Cassidy from Covers to Cassidy. I read that book, and I also read the Cover to Cover book club book of There's Something About Mary. Then I have not read a Mafia yet, although Daisy Hates kind of is Mafia-esque. Dark Romance, have not read a dark romance yet. And Class Difference, Scales and Sensibility kind of is. Kind of is. Kind of not. It's kind of cheating. But I might also use my skip on that one because I had 3 skips. So one of these other ones might end up being skipped. So who knows? And then I read plenty of mood reads. So yes. That is all of the books that I have read this first half of the month. My reading will probably slow way down in the second half of the month because today is Thursday the 15th and I have to pack. And then tomorrow I'm going up to Dallas to see my family, and so I'll probably spend a lot of time with them tomorrow and tomorrow night, and then Saturday I'm leaving to go to California, and I probably won't read a ton in California. I think I am going to post a poll on Instagram of, or should I just see how many Christmas novellas I can read on the plane, or should I read what I already own? And most people are saying read the holiday novellas, so I might be trying to read a bunch of those. We'll see. I might decide to ignore what people are saying and just read what I already have. I do need to finish Kingdom of Ash, and I would like to finish When Strangers Marry, so we'll see. We shall see. But yes, so once I'm home, I probably won't read a ton. I do have to work all week, and I'll be tired because I work. So I have to work my regular hours, which are 8 to 5, but because I'm going to be in California, which is 2 hours behind, I have to work 6 to 3. So I'm going to be tired. I'm going to want to go to bed. Like, probably won't get a ton of reading done. We shall see. But if you made it to the end of this video of me now talking about things you all probably don't care about, if you made it to the end of this video, leave me a devil emoji because he's got the devil face. She drew a devil face, devil horns on him. Leave me the devil emoji. And yes, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. It really helps me out. I'll talk to you on the next one.